Sorry, Almanza's not here. I did say that before. He is currently going through some dental work on top of everything else he's been doing. So he was not able to attend today. The dentist had a field day with him.
Dang, he got yuck mouth. He needs to go to medical.
Yeah, he had yuck mouth, so he has to get that shit taken care of. He's still out of commission. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm hoping he's resting. Nice shirt, by the way. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
I see that too. I was going to put on my veteran to Valhalla shirt. I was like, man, I'm still in my freaking gym gear, dude. I just basically got here after I came back from the gym in the market. I'm like, okay, fucking get ready to fucking rock and roll, dude. I got my cafecito ready with some screwball in there, and I'm fucking ready. Welcome back to Chat 62, the podcast created by veterans for veterans. I am your host, the Terminal Lance Corporal, the introverted interviewer, Eric Monarca. Before we dive in, make sure to stay connected by following us on Instagram at Chat62Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, we really appreciate a 5-star rating and a follow on your favorite platform. Got questions, stories to share, or want to be a guest? We'd love to hear from you. Reach out to Eric Monarca, our creative media producer, at monarca@chat62podcast.com. Martin Almanza, our digital content strategist at almanza@chat62podcast.com. Ruth Monarca, our content and outreach coordinator at ruth@chat62podcast.com. Or connect with Kevin Lopez, our unofficial guide for VA disability filings at lopez@chat62podcast.com. Yes, I have sucked my wife into this endeavor. We would love to hear from you. Joining us once again is Corporal Henry Rodriguez. We're going to continue with Henry's story. Henry, thanks for being a guest again on Chat 62.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And we last left off with you returning from a deployment around Thanksgiving 1998. That was around the time of the Marine Corps ball, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you came back, a few weeks before Thanksgiving then?
I think it was early November or mid-November. So I knew we were coming back around the time the Marine Corps ball was going to happen. And like I told you before, it was going to be in Vegas, I think at Prim. And all my buddies, you in Okinawa, 7 months stuck with all your buddies and stuff, you build a good camaraderie with them. So they were like, come on, you got to go. And I wasn't feeling it. I was like, nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to waste the money. It wasn't even the money, but that was an excuse, And then they were like, no, we'll pay for your ticket, So they were like, well, there goes that, So then I was like, no, I don't have a date. And then Corporal Gilliland, I don't know if you remember him. He was a diary.
I remember him. I can see his face and I remember the name, but I didn't really have much dialogue with him.
Yeah, so I think when we switched over to 62, to the pack, he was getting ready to get out already. He was like, well, I'll find you a date. And I was like, nah, I don't know. But yeah, so he ended up setting me up on a blind date with his sister-in-law. So then we're like, all right, fine then, I'll go, So then, yeah, we ended up going, and 26 years later, here we are, or 27 years later, still together.
Congratulations. Would you like to touch a little bit further, more into that? I mean, yes, it was a blind date. How did it go? Like, how was the first meeting?
Oh, it was great, man. It was just like I've talked to my wife about it too, and it's like we just instantly connected. It just felt comfortable. Like, we've known each other for a long time, and it was just like, I don't know, we just hit it off right off the bat.
And that was that natural chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, okay, I was like, well, we'll see where this goes. Started dating, and we only dated for a year because the ball the next year was in Vegas too. And then we're just like, well, fuck it, let's just get married, But we were trying to, we had talked about it, but we were trying to keep it like, we're going to get married and use that money to pay for the big wedding. And that'll be like the real wedding. That's what we ended up doing anyways. Mm-hmm. But the following year, we ended up getting the ball was in Vegas again at the same place. So we just ended up getting married. And then I submitted all my paperwork for the BAH and and that helped us pay for the big wedding. So I got married August 16th of 2000, the year I got out.
Uh,
So
that would have been a great picture. I'm
yeah,
so mad that I
my
can't record this thing. Damn it.
my son's cat, crazy. But yeah, so yeah, we ended up getting married the following year. So we only dated for a year, and then we got married, and we got married in '99 on September 10th. August 16th of 2000, we had our big wedding. So that was the year I got out too.
You guys meet in November '98 at the Marine Corps Ball. Hit it off. You guys get married. You guys are finding that chemistry. Meanwhile, you're doing your time at 3-5 still.
Correct.
And how was that time after deployment when you when you returned from deployment? How were things at 3-5?
It was good. A lot of people are getting out. It's like a lot of people do. So a lot of we're separating a lot of people, and then we're getting a lot of new boots too.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of our guys we called it Conad. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, we called ours Conad too, a headquarters company.
So yeah, we were separating a lot of people, and even our guys in Conad, they were getting orders to go to other places already. So they were either separating or moving on too. So we were getting some new guys in our section too.
So there was a lot of changes that were happening upon return from
Yeah,
deployment.
exactly.
Wow.
So that's when I was like, because some of my friends were even from Canada, they were like they re-enlisted.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
You don't see
so they were.
you don't see a lot of that happening with the guys in administration re-enlisting.
Yeah, so like two of them actually became warrant officers, chief warrant officers.
Oh, really?
Became personnel officers. Yeah.
I think I know of one.
Okay.
I think we know the same person. I might be wrong. I might be right. We'll see.
Both of them were from El Monte.
I know of one. Jaime Torres.
Yep.
I went to high school with him.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because we touched base after we both got out. I think I was right around the track at the old high school. I bumped into him and he's like, "Yeah, I just got out." I think he was gonna try to be a firefighter, if I
Really?
remember right. But I didn't know he had gone back in until like years later, and he had become a warrant officer. So I'm like, dude, I would love to know his story and find out why he went back in. I mean, I'm pretty sure, everybody has their reasons, but it's just interesting, because there's so many. Well, the guys that I've known that have gone back in, they end up making a career out of it,
Right.
and it's nothing short term. Well, except for Burton, that's a whole nother fucking story. I don't know if you listen to Ramsey's episodes, but yeah. But most of the guys I know, they just ended up staying in and making careers out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey man, if it works for them, it works for them, dude.
Exactly.
The career is it's a big sacrifice, and I look back on that pretty often, and I'm like, man, if I would have just been more disciplined, I would have had my head on right. Maybe I could have made something out of it, But everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. Would you have stayed in or what?
I had plans. I had silent plans to start working on that. Then I fucked up my foot, and I don't know. Just things started to fall into place once the pack started.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, okay, maybe I could do something with this. But then I fucked up my foot, and that just, my life went in a total another direction.
Yeah, it takes a toll on you, man.
It does.
Like even for years, it takes a toll on you.
It does. I mean, shit. I mean, there's so many guys now that are just barely starting to file for disability because of what happened just with the 4 years alone.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of changes happening at 3-5 at the Conad. When you got back, it was late 98. When did they start bringing the idea of the pack to 3-5? Or when did they start bringing it to your guys' office at the 3-5 Conad?
I don't remember exactly, but I remember because our personnel officer, he ended up leaving too. He got orders somewhere else. and then our staff sergeant, he left too, and that's when we got Staff Sergeant Sutton. Yeah, so he replaced our personnel officer, our personnel chief.
Who was your personnel chief at that time?
It was Staff Sergeant Delgado.
Okay.
Cool dude.
Okay. I remember a Gunny Wiseman, but I think he went to 1-5. He was our purse chief at headquarters company for like a fucking cup of coffee. He didn't like the way headquarters company was ran, and and every fucking day he was like, back in the battalion. And he would just come on with those stories, and like, he wasn't happy there. So he ended up going back to a battalion. I think he may have gone to like 1-5 Conad.
Okay. No, I don't think I remember Gunny Wiseman.
Yeah, he was a character.
So we got Staff Sergeant at the replacement. And then I think when Staff Sergeant Sutton came in is when he started telling us, hey, we're going to be moving soon. We're going to be consolidate with all the other Conads, So then we're like, what? He goes, well, still talking. Sure enough, yeah, it happened. We used to have to send like 2 or 3 bodies over to the pack to get it ready. He would come, Staff Sergeant Sutton would come in and be like, all right, it's going to happen. We got to, hey, send somebody over there to pick up, to help with a working party to help build up the pack.
What was that thing you said in the last episode?
Ain't no party like a working party.
There you go. I have made that a soundbite, and I'm going to use that I'm going to drop it whenever I can, man. Thank you for that soundbite. Do you remember the Marines that you guys sent out there to do the working party at the pack?
Yeah, we had 2 Marines that were, I wouldn't say troublesome, but they were always getting into trouble. So I don't know if you remember Bendanelli or Calvillo.
Bendanelli sounds familiar. I don't remember Calvillo.
Calvillo, yeah. So they were always getting into something, bro.
Bendanelli. Well, it sounds really familiar, and I could hear it like someone yelling, Bendanelli.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm pretty sure I'll remember later.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we sent them over because they were always getting into trouble, man.
So those guys are going out to the pack, and they were helping with the working parties, breaking down the crack houses, building it back up so it can eventually become the pack.
Correct.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's something new. It's something new, but like, all right, well, I guess we got to make it work. Somehow we'll make it work.
Were you guys hesitant about working with other O1s?
I wasn't. I don't know if anybody else was. I was like, okay, it's just, we're all brothers, so we all got to work with each other anyways. But I knew always being the first one is always going to be harder because you're laying the foundation for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew there was going to be challenges going into it,
Yeah, there was.
Yeah,
So then the time comes.
So yeah, so then we move over. So once we moved over, it was just like, all right. And that's when I switched over to diary because there was a lot of movement going around. And I was still a Lance Corporal at the time. I picked up Corporal at the pack. My last year, I picked up, and I think Chief Warrant Officer Bloom is the one that pinned me.
Cody T. Bloom.
Yes.
I don't know why that name is just so easy to remember.
Right?
I'm going to have to hit him up one day and to see if he'd be interested in coming on.
We moved over to the pack, and Staff Sergeant Sutton goes, hey, we're kind of breaking everybody up. We're going to move people from, O1s, or like if you're doing diary right now, you might be doing SRBs. So he kind of broke it down, or he said he didn't know yet. So Corporal Gilliland, being my brother-in-law now, was like, okay, well, why don't you come under me and I'll show you diary. And I was like, all right, cool. I could do that. Yeah, and it worked out. So
when you were at the 3-5 Conad, you weren't doing unit diary?
No, I was doing SRBs back then. Yeah, checking people in, doing separation. Not separation, but getting all their stuff ready for separation.
Oh, okay. All right. Stuff so you were doing record book audits and separations. Okay. So then after then you arrive to the pack, and then you start working diary under Corporal Gilliland at orders, right?
Yeah, we were in orders and separations.
Okay, yeah, you guys are right across the way from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how was that last year at the pack for you?
It was good, because I ended up picking up corporal. So that made it, that was one of my goals getting out was to pick up corporal. I did really good on my PFT. I had shot expert at the rifle range, and it was just kind of falling into place. And yeah, I think I barely qualified for corporal, but I made it, and I
Yeah, that
picked it
cutting
up.
score was always high.
It was because I think at that time they were talking about getting rid of the O1s too. I think they did already too, and
I,
just getting with contractors.
oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know they got rid of the 3-1 component of the
Oh, really?
administration. Yeah, so everybody across the board ended up being you're either an 0121 or 0151. I don't know, they moved over to they totally got rid of admin and they went to contractors.
Yeah. So that's what Stefan's son had told us. Oh, yeah, that's why the cutting score's so high. They're trying to get people to move to, if you want to re-enlist, pick a new MOS, or just kind of get out. And that's what Stefan's son had told us. Like, yeah, I think they're moving over to try to phase out the O1s, and it's a job that probably not needed much in the Marine Corps anymore. You know?
Wow, just hand it over to civilians or veterans
Yeah,
that have probably
exactly.
worked in that administrative type of field before. Wow.
Yeah, and it kind of made sense if they consolidated everything into like the pack. It
Mm,
just makes it easier for everybody just to go to one spot. Because I think when we deployed to Okinawa, it was I think what like 15, 20 of us. But I think when they consolidated over to the pack, I think only like 3 or 4 people went.
right. So it was a whole lot less.
Yeah, it was a whole lot less. Not really needed anymore. So the writing was on the wall.
Wow, I wonder if that ended up being the case and they ended up phasing out O1s completely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to find that too, but I don't think they phased it out completely, but I think there's probably a lot less.
Yeah, because I hear everything's digital now. So
Yeah, that makes it easier too.
yeah, it does.
Back then, we were still typing up DD-214s. Imagine that.
I got a picture of you in the background, I guess, because your guys' typewriter shit itself, and you would use a
Yeah,
computer or you use a typewriter over on our side that Kevin Lopez famously entered meal cards with. That was his baby right
yeah,
there. I got you in the
yeah.
background somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it.
It's on Facebook. It shows up every year
Oh,
now.
does it? Okay. Oh man. All right. So you're doing your last year. Once again, you're in orders and separations. The idea went through your head about possibly reenlisting.
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
Like I said, I was gonna have to go overseas again to get orders somewhere else, and I had just gotten married, and we were actually planning a big wedding for August of 2000, right when I was about to get out. And my wife was like, just get out and go to school. She kind of made she didn't make my decision. I made that on my own, but I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
She helped you weigh it
Uh,
out.
exactly. She helped, like pros and cons of it. So I was like, okay, probably not best. You hear all this stuff about Marines, long-term Marines. They have 2, 3 divorces and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So like, yeah,
that's just like the tip top of it, dude. There's just probably so much more.
I was like, I probably don't want to fall into that statistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So the decision is made not to reenlist. You let them know you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna separate. What happened during that time as you were reaching the end of your enlistment?
It was pretty good. I think I forgot who I was training up for diary, but because Corporal Gilliland had separated already, and I had taken over as diary, and it just so happened I picked up Corporal, and then he's getting out soon. So it was just like a natural just transition for me to move into his spot after
Mm,
he got out. Sure enough, I think by that time we had gotten a new warrant officer. Chief Warrant Officer Bloom had left,
right.
or he had moved to another section. But we got like this big dude, like muscular, like heavy weightlifting dude. I forgot his name though.
I can help out with that because he signed my DD 214. I don't remember his exact rank, Chief Warrant Officer McFadder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that dude. And we were like, damn, this dude was cheap. But we were like, oh, he goes, I compete in weightlifting or bodybuilding. So, like,
Taking Marines and fucking lifting them and throwing them all over the place just for a morning workout.
yeah, bro, he was huge.
He was huge. He did like a professional wrestler.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, he's probably moonlights as a fucking mass superstar or something, man.
yeah. So it was funny because Chief Warrant Officer Bloom pinned me corporal, and then I was the only corporal in the barracks because all the other NCOs were like sergeants, and there was very, very, very little corporals at the pack at that time. I think it was like me, Perez, Gilliland, and I don't remember who else, but it was very little corporals, but I was the only one living in the barracks.
Oh, really?
So the first week I picked up Corporal Master Sergeant Frias. You remember him?
Yeah.
He fucking called me into his office and is like, you know, because I was like, oh, it's my last year. I'm getting out. I'm just going to be chill. But he called me into his office and is like, you know, you're the only NCO I have in the barracks. I need you to lay down the law on them. So this Thursday, I need you to form them all up, tell them what's expected, and I need you to check all the rooms before I inspect them on Friday morning, and let them know that I'm gonna cancel their libel if everything's not up to par. And I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to be chill and like just have these dudes like I don't want them to hate me, you know, like I just picked up corporal, and they probably thought I was power tripping
I was
because then
about
I
to
was
say.
like, hey, like, oh, formation but it wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
It was Master Sergeant Free. It's like, you got to make sure I want you to line them all up on Thursday and tell them what's expected. And I'm like, these dudes are going to think I'm power tripping. I just picked up corporal and, you know,
I got nothing else better to do but to fucking pull rank and
exactly, play fuck games with these guys, but it wasn't me. It was Master Sergeant Free is telling me to do it, and if he tell you to do something, you're going to do it, it's
yeah,
the Marine Corps way.
of course.
But I was like, fuck. I was just, in my mind, I'm going to be like, I'm just going to be a chill corporal, make sure they stay in line if they get. But yeah, Master and Free just had other ideas for me.
So how was that? How did that first muster go when you rounded everybody up for field day?
They weren't happy. They were like, what are we doing? Let's just go field day. And then I had to tell them, like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is what. But yeah, it was, I don't know. They probably thought I was power tripping on them, but it wasn't me. And then Master Frias that Friday morning came in. I went by and I inspected everybody's rooms, and then he came by and he had me walk through the barracks with him.
Oh shit!
And then he was like pointing stuff out. Hey, you got to make sure you check this, and that. And I think fucking Anderson, we walked into his room, and like he had a fucking plastic bag on the fucking smoke detector.
Oh fuck!
And I'm like, shit. He goes, "Oh, look at that." And Master Frias would catch everything, bro. He had experience, he knew what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why he had me walk through with him, because he's pointing shit out. And then, so the next week, I knew what to look for.
That was kind of like your field day orientation or your field day inspection orientation.
Yeah, exactly. And then he fucking called up Anderson, like, what the fuck are you doing? That's a fucking hazard. Obviously, we know what he was doing in the room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I had a guy, one of my roommates back at Conad, he would do the same thing. And yeah. But we would remember to fucking tear that thing down. It was usually me like, oh, fuck, we got to take that shit down before First Sergeant Fletcher comes and fucking tears us a fucking new one.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, that was fun. But yeah, man, it wasn't me. It was Master Frias telling me to lay down the law on you guys. But
so that first year, you couldn't, or that last year, you couldn't even really like chill out because of Master Sergeant Frias.
Yeah, no, I couldn't chill because he would always call me into his office and be like, "Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to tell these guys to do this." He was always calling me in and telling me to have them do something.
Yeah.
And then he would call me up and be like, "Hey, I need three bodies for a working party or whatever." But and I think Crockett was there too,
Yeah, he
and
was.
then so Crockett was in charge too, and then somebody else, I forgot the other sergeant there. He ended up picking stuff. He was a dark green Marine.
Was he Sergeant Reddick?
Sergeant Reddick. There you go. I couldn't remember his name. Sergeant Reddick was also.
Yeah, he was in QC, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. QCQA, yeah. So you're getting closer to your EAS. Do you go on terminal leave?
I do. So being in LA, I would rarely take any leave days off. So I had I think like over 60 days of terminal leave. So it took like almost 3 months,
Oh shit! Wow.
which is good because I got out. And it's funny because Corporal Gilland had gotten out too. And so we would just chill. When on terminal leave, I would just chill with him. We would just chill and kind of kick it. He ended up moving to Texas, but that was before he moved to Texas.
Oh, okay. And let's circle back real quick. So as you were approaching the end of your time at the PAC, what was going through your head as you were approaching the end of your enlistment?
Well, not much. I was kind of focused because, like I said, we were getting so my EAS date was September 3rd. We were planning our big wedding with my wife for August. So I was kind of focused on that, to be honest with you.
Okay, which is a good thing.
Yeah, so we weren't really, I wasn't like focused too much on, I knew I was getting out and I knew I had stuff to do, but I was on terminal leave too. So it was kind of good, just kind of take a break and relax. But, we're getting our stuff ready for the wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was that transition period for you.
I think my last year getting out was kind of chill.
So you end up separating, and you do go on terminal leave, and like you mentioned, you have your big wedding. What happens during that first year of the post Marine Corps?
I think I ended up getting like some my wife's like, well, you should go to school. And I did plan on it, but I was like, well, I don't even have like a steady job, right now.
Mm.
So, like, I think I worked like for, I don't know if you've heard it. I don't know if they're still around. Robert Half International. They do like a lot of temp jobs.
Yeah, they got their headquarters right, maybe a block or two down from where I work in downtown.
Yeah, so it was just I did that for a little bit, and then ended up getting a job for this company in Long Beach, where they repaired radios for Toyota and Honda.
Okay.
And I was in the shipping department. I did that for a couple months, and then someone called me to work at like a temp agency, but to actually work in their payroll department in house. And I just kind of got settled in there, and I ended up working there for like 9 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So they liked you that much, they had you just jump aboard full time?
Yeah, they did. But I knew it was something I didn't want to do permanent. In between there, I started going to school to a city college, and then ended up getting my associate's degree in computer networking.
Okay. And what year was that when you got your AA?
Oh man, that was like I think like 09 or 10. But that ended up helping me getting, I got my associate's degree in computer networking, but then I started applying for like IT jobs. But then everybody's like, well, you need experience. You need experience. Shoot, what? Yeah. But luckily, the company that I worked for, that payroll company that I was working for,
mm-hmm.
we had we would outsource our IT, and the owner was really cool. So I talked to him one day and like, hey, I'm trying to get into IT, this and that, but a lot of companies require experiences. So he's like, well, I'm looking for somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience that we can train. The pay is not very high. So I ended up taking a pay cut to go work with him, but I got a lot of years. I worked there for like 3.5 years, and I got good experience. Yeah. So he hooked me up because he took a chance on me, and I appreciate that, and I was able to get experience. And then that led me to getting my job with the county.
What year was that when you got your job in the county?
That was that was like 2018, I think.
Oh, so fairly recent.
Yeah, and I had been trying for like a couple years, but they kept denying me because I didn't have enough experience.
Did you want to mention anything else during that first year post Marine Corps? Anything of significance?
Not that I can think of, it was just kind of my wife was working and she was kind of, helping me out, trying to transition out,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get settled in. It's a different coming from the Marine Corps to the civilian world. You're like, you know, you kind of miss it at first,
I was about
and
to ask you if you missed the Corps.
I did, and I think you missed well, mainly you missed all your friends and the camaraderie, and like all the bullshitting that goes on,
Yeah.
in the Marine Corps. You don't miss the bullshit, but you miss the bullshitting with all your friends and stuff like that. And there was times where like I thought about re-enlisting to go back, like well maybe I should just go back,
And what prompted that to even have those thoughts of possibly going back into the Corps?
just because I couldn't get settled in, I couldn't find like a good job, and my wife was, my wife I think was a big part. She was like, just relax, something's gonna come up, you just got to give it time.
Do you think you were overthinking it?
Yeah, I think so a little bit. You always, especially since you want to, provide and
Yeah.
bring in your part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a pressure, but it's the responsibilities that shoulder on you, especially after, you know, just being newlyweds basically and
Exactly.
getting out of the Corps. It's like, okay, I need to find my place, but how do I find it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right with that one. It's just like, the Marine Corps doesn't really give you much direction when you get out.
True.
They try to give you those classes and try to help you with your resume and stuff like that, but and try to, I remember going to those separation classes and they were like, what you need to do this, you need to update your resume and this and that.
You got to look sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to, and I remember they mentioned something about starting with temp agencies.
Yes.
And also they told us to, if you had anything to report physically, make sure you report it now. And I wish I would have reported more.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
So you miss the camaraderie, the bullshitting, just being with your brothers.
I thought about going back, but my wife's like, just relax. Something's gonna happen. And sure enough, like it started getting better. Like I got that job working in Long Beach. I was just kind of in the shipping department, shipping up like repaired radios. It was just kind of like a steady job. So I'm like, all right, I think that's what I needed. You just need like something steady at first, and then you can just move on from there. It's just kind of you build on top of that.
Yeah,
Like
it's having to set that foundation. I think
exactly.
that's probably the stressful part.
Yeah, I think once I got settled in there, like, okay, okay, maybe I can do this. It wasn't until like the first 2 years I didn't go to school, so because I was trying to get settled in, and I think after that, that's when I started going to school. After I got the job doing payroll, because it was more steady.
Right.
It was just kind of like, okay, and then I was able to enroll in classes.
And you used your GI Bill?
I did. I used up my whole GI Bill to get my associates.
Good for you. Did you keep in touch with any Marines that were still in?
I did. I would keep in touch with like Gallegos. He was one of the biggest ones. I think Jaime Torres. I would keep in touch with him. There was another guy named Lopez. I would keep in touch with him. Uh, Not the Lopez that you're thinking about.
Yeah,
It
not
was a
Kevin
different
Lopez.
one.
Yeah.
No.
What was the other Lopez? What was his name? Was he at 3.5 or?
He was at 3.5.
Okay.
His name was Marcos. He ended up becoming a warrant officer too.
Is he the one from El Monte too?
Yeah, he was from Romani too.
I don't remember the Marcos Lopez. I mean, he grew up around the other areas
Probably.
from where I was at. Let's go ahead and we'll fast forward to 4 years out. It's the same length as your enlistments. You did say yes. At that point, 4 years later, were you still missing the Corps as much as you missed it that first year?
No, you don't. I was like, okay, the Corps is, behind me now. I think it was just like, I think it's that first year because everything is so new. You're used to the structure, the Marine Corps structure.
Yeah.
But, when you go out to civilian world, everything is kind of like, there's a little bit of structure. Obviously, there's like policies and regulations each company has, but it's nothing like the Marine Corps. There's no structure like the Marine Corps, like the military, you know.
Yeah, you're never going to find that out here.
Never,
Yeah.
unless you work with a whole bunch of other Marines.
Or you're in law enforcement,
Yeah, exactly.
which are probably, consist of veterans.
But yeah, no, after 4 years, I was kind of like, okay, I'm done with it.
Yeah. It's behind me now.
Let's move forward. Let's see what's ahead.
How was civilian life for you 4 years later, post Marine Corps?
It was good. Still, I wouldn't say, I think I was more acclimated to civilian work. You never leave the Marine Corps stuff, but there's certain stuff that you still, like I still get up early all the time. Certain things like that still follow you even outside the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
You know,
You could leave the Marine Corps, but the Marine Corps doesn't leave you.
exactly. And you still, how do I say, you still kind of live your life a little bit with a little bit of Marine Corps flair or style in it. You look at people, you're like, oh, I wish I could just tell them and go there, like, like,
Like in
hey,
knife
just
hands.
get this done. Yeah, but you can't, that Marine Corps military style that's always in you that wants to go over there and just tear a new one into somebody, but
Yeah.
you can't, you gotta,
Yeah.
civilian people don't understand.
And they got things like HR and all that stuff now that you don't want to, you can't cross that line.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
25 years ago we could have, but not in this day and time.
Exactly.
What challenges did you face during those 4 years?
I wouldn't say they were challenges, but I think it's just kind of reacclimating back into civilian life. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is just kind of like the day to day of like no PT daily, or which you probably should do every day.
Yeah.
The reacclimating into civilian life, and it's just like I said, like you can't go over there and start yelling at people or telling them, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you
Like,
can't square them away.
yeah, exactly. Just learning to like, you kind of have to just change yourself and kind of reacclimate yourself back into civilian life and learn how to talk to people again. It's
Yeah.
just like, and one of the big things was calling people by their first names.
Yeah.
4 years of going by last names like, Monarca, Almanza, Rodriguez. And then you could, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Hey,
Like,
Mike.
it's kind of odd. Or even for me, I think I have difficulty talking to higher ups like normal people. And I've been, this is the 25th year since I've been out, just like you. I still have trouble talking to higher ups like normal people. Like, I'm like, dude, you're up there in rank, or, not rank,
Yeah.
but, in pay grade
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, fuck, you shouldn't be talking to me. I'm fucking down here and you're fucking up here, up here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I still, to me, I still follow that rule of the chain of command.
Yeah.
When I have something that needs to be done, I go to my manager, and then I don't go directly to, you don't go up to the lieutenant colonel or whatever, but
Yeah.
unless he comes down to you or talk to you or something.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem with, I'm not going to go on any kind of a tirade or anything about, this generation, but,
I always feel like this generation, like everybody, I don't care what generation it is, should serve at least like 2 years in the military. It doesn't have to be the Marine Corps, but
right.
like Air Force, Army, Navy, at least 2 years.
Something to help out with structure in their life.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree. Even if, fuck, and I hate to turn this back on me, but I worked with a high level of anxiety in the Corps, but I learned to kind of contain it to a degree. and to kind of turn that around and somehow make that shit work, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, I think everybody does. Like,
Yeah.
but I think everybody's different too.
Yeah.
So everybody has to find their way of thinking and what works for them,
Yeah.
and what, because my way might not work for you. And that's one I think too, coming out of the Marine Corps, you have to learn is you have to kind of, well, you learn teamwork in the Marine Corps. Everything's about teamwork. You don't leave nobody behind.
Right.
Coming out of the Marine Corps too into civilian world, you kind of have to, how do I put it? Sometimes give a little bit. With the Marine Corps, you don't have to.
Right.
And coming into civilian world, you have to, okay, maybe I'm going to let this one go because it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth to be like, okay. So you have to learn to like kind of be a little bit more flexible, I think, than you were in the Marine Corps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's about having to choose your battles and what hill to die on.
Exactly. Obviously, if someone's breaking policy or constantly doing something wrong, then you can go and discipline them.
Right.
In the Marine Corps, if you're late 15 minutes, then you're going to rip somebody a new one for being late 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's the first time or the 20th time, they're going to get ripped one time or 20 times.
You're going to be buffing the floors and all that fun shit.
So, but yeah, I think that's one of the things, transitioning into civilian life is learning to kind of relax a little bit and let things, let them be. All right, he was late 10 minutes. It happens. Probably traffic, something. All right, let it go.
Yeah, I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt until that benefit of the doubt runs out. Were there any other, I guess for now we'll just use challenges. Any other challenges you faced outside the Corps after that or during that time?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't call them challenges, but it's just kind of like, it's just kind of like a bump in the road. You get setbacks, but you get a little couple setbacks, or but I think being a Marine, you just always got to keep moving forward. All right, you're gonna hit a bump in the road, you're gonna get a setback. All right, if you get knocked down 100 times, you get back up 101 times.
Amen.
So
Amen.
it's like you just got to keep moving forward. Nothing's ever gonna be 100% the way you plan it. You
That's
know what I
true.
mean?
That's true. And it almost never is, dude.
Yeah, it never is. But you just got to keep moving forward, and and then see what happens. Do the
Yeah.
best with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's fast forward. Let's move to current time. Where are you now in your career?
Right now, I did IT, so I got hired with the county, LA County, in 2018 as a I worked in the help desk as like a Tech One, which is kind of like the starting.
Mhm.
And I've steadily moved up from Tech One to Tech Two to a senior tech, and now I'm an IT supervisor.
Dang, look at you. You're an NCO in the civilian world.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. I'm gonna have them start calling me Corporal Rodriguez at work now.
They're gonna be talking to you at the POA parade rest.
POA. Yeah.
Fucking field day in their desk and shit.
It's funny because one of my good buddies at work, he was in the army. So like we always bullshitting about military stuff. I give him shit about being in the army. He gives me shit about being a Marine.
Oh,
But it's
that's got
just
to be
funny,
fun.
like, yeah, it's funny because being out in the civilian world, the military guys, every time they're civilian guy or military guys, we always kind of like just congregate a little bit.
Yeah.
They come together a little bit.
Yeah, once you find your guys, like, especially if it's prior service, man, it's like, okay, this guy's cool. They understand where I'm coming from.
Exactly. But yeah, I give him shit. I actually trained him when he started, and I hit him with you know what Army stand for, right?
Refresh my memory.
Ain't ready to be a Marine yet.
Yeah, that's right.
So he was in the Army. So I hit him with that when I was training him. But he stayed quiet. He goes, "I'm gonna let you say that because I was new."
So you're a supervisor now. How many colleagues do you have under you?
So I'm gonna have about 10 to 15 people under me.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. Well, good for you, dude. Congratulations. And this is
Thank you.
the 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 recent promotion, right? You got promoted to
Yes.
supervisor. Good for you,
Yeah.
brother. I'm happy for you.
About a month ago.
Family wise, how's the family doing in 2025?
They're all good. I have you know, my oldest daughter, she's 28, and then my son is 18, and then I have an 8-year-old.
How is that having such a big gap? I have with my son and my oldest daughter, there's a 9 year gap.
Yeah, it's good because when you have too many little ones running around, it's just kind of like chaos, you know? Obviously, it's easier to control one than it is to control like two or three.
Yeah.
So it's more of a controlled chaos, I would say.
And with your 8 year old, do you feel like reinvigorated? Like having like okay, this is I kind of she kind of brings out the fountain youth in me.
No,
No,
I think
that was what I expected.
she gives me more gray hairs
Oh shit.
than the fountain of youth. She has a tough character,
Oh okay.
but she's smart though. She's does her homework fast, reads. She picked up everything. She actually walked really early, like around 8 or 9 months.
Oh wow.
She's always been like,
Above the bar.
yeah. So no issue with her like that wise. But my son, who's 18 now, when
Mm.
he was born sick.
Oh, okay.
He had like this condition called Pierre Robin, where his jaw didn't form properly. The doctors at one point were like, we don't know what to do with him, and that was tough because this was back in '06, and we were like, we were just gotten 6 years in, we had gotten married, but it was tough because they didn't know what to do with him. He was born in Torrance, a little company of Mary.
Mm.
We had a choice to make. They were like, we can put like this a trach in his throat, or we just found this doctor at UCLA that can do a surgery on him. So he had a surgery at 1 month, like a very extensive surgery. Well, it was actually, so they gave us a choice: Children's Hospital of LA or UCLA. Because the doctor at UCLA has done like 30 or 40 of these surgeries. The one at Children's Hospital has only done about 5. So it's a no-brainer where you're going to go.
Of course.
The person with the more experience.
Yeah.
At 1 month, he had surgery. So they extracted his jaw and they had him like metal plates in his jaw and stuff like that. So he was in a coma for the first week of the surgery.
How did that once the 1 week passed? I mean, I can't even imagine what. Oh, you know my story.
Yeah.
What was going through your head during that? How did that 1 week go for you?
It was tough, man. I was, because, when you learn you're having a child, especially a boy, you're excited, and then you get hit with that news and it's kind of heartbreaking. Yeah, but that was, yeah. So he's had, before he was like, he's had like 8 surgeries. So just to fix that, because it comes with he had a left palate too. So they left. So his jaw, since he's only 1 month, they had to leave like these metal plates in his jaw because they was too. They couldn't remove them. It would be too risky to remove them. So he went back at 6 months to get those plates removed, and then he went back at 1 year to get the palate repaired, and then he needed a couple more surgeries to like something with the ears and just with the jaw here and there. minor surgeries, but he actually had another surgery last year where they wired his jaw shut again. They wired it shut for a month, but he was 17, or almost 18 already, almost an adult now. So it's easier. Well, I wouldn't say easier, but having your jaw wired shut for a whole month is not easy.
Right. But at least him being older, he was understanding of everything, and maybe, and I can't speak for you, but maybe it gave you a little bit more ease, because I can't even imagine a child at 1 month, 6 months, 1 year going through surgery, and they can't tell you what's hurting, or if they're hurting, or how you can help them.
Exactly. So yeah, it was pretty tough. I'd probably say that was the toughest part. My you know like it's getting him through all those surgeries and stuff like that. I think it brought me and my wife together closer. Because
Yeah.
we had to lean on each other.
And how's he doing now post that most recent surgery?
Oh, he's good now. Just because of all the surgeries and stuff like that, some of his teeth didn't come in properly, so he had braces since he was like in third grade up until high school.
Oh, wow.
They were just trying to line stuff up
Yeah.
and trying to do the best they could. But he's good now. He's so he had we bought him a Bug, a 1970 Bug. He loves classic cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he has a Bug that he drives around. He's in college now. He's going
Wow.
to Fullerton City College. Yeah, you can't even tell anymore. Just
Wow.
like a normal kid, getting into trouble and stuff.
I'm glad he was able to come out of it. So there's no foreseeable surgeries with
No,
that's it. God
they
willing.
said that should be it. Yeah,
Knock on wood.
right.
Yeah, definitely knock on wood. I'll definitely, keep him in my prayers and hope, hey, man, that's it. Fucking
Thank you.
eight surgeries is a lot for a kid.
Yeah.
With regards to your personal growth, what have you done to help yourself grow as Henry Rodriguez now?
Well, I think going to school helps me grow. I'm working on my bachelor's right now too to finish. It'll help me grow in my current career too.
For you. And under computer, what
Yes.
did you say the degree was?
Information systems.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help you move up the ladder, dude.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the plan.
I'm sure it's going to work out, man. Were there Marine Corps values that you've continued to stick with post Marine Corps life?
I would say so. I don't think you ever get rid of those values like honor, courage, commitment. It's the big ones. If you commit yourself to do something, you can do it. You know what I mean? But I think too, one of the biggest values is just helping your brothers or your teammates. You know what I mean? And I feel like teamwork is a big part of me, of what I try to instill at work. Like the guy that gave me the opportunity to the owner of that company, the IT company. So when I got there, I kind of knew the guys because they would come work on our equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this guy that he kind of helped me out a lot. Anytime I had a question, I would go to him. He was cool. He would help me out. Like I said, I took a pay cut going there. But when I moved to the county, I hit him up. I'd be like, hey, man, start applying here. And I would send him every day, like IT jobs, like, hey, man, apply here. And he actually got hired with the county. And like, I helped him out, and he hits me up. We're in different departments,
Mm.
unfortunately. But he hits me up all the time, like, bro, I appreciate you helping me out and, bring me into the county like you did. Like, I didn't help him out, like, as far as, like, put in a good word. It's hard to, like, put in a good word for somebody. Everything is based on, like, your skills in the county. He's like, bro, I appreciate it. It's like the best thing you ever did for me here. I'm so appreciative,
Well, you
just
opened the door
helping
for
other
him.
people out. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you did. I mean, in essence, I mean, even if it wasn't a good word, you still opened that door for him.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's all we need is just that door to open, and then we can kick it down and kick some ass.
yeah, but it's just like, I think one of the things is, you don't leave anybody behind and you try to bring everybody up with you. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
That's
you
true.
know.
Hoorah. Hoorah. Was there a time that you truly felt proud of your service?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever not felt proud of my service. You know what I mean? I'm not a combat vet or anything like that, but I still feel like, I did something a lot of people can't do. You know what I mean? Just completing boot camp is a challenge in itself. A lot of people fail at that. And the people that do, it's a big accomplishment. I know like the Marine Corps boot camp is the hardest, but even though completing any military boot camp you finish is going to be a big accomplishment, not just the Marine Corps one.
Yeah, that's true. If you could go back, there's anything you would do differently during your time in the Corps?
I can't picture anything I would have done different. Yeah, I don't think so.
And do you have any advice for new or future Marines?
Hmm. I would just say don't give up, man. Just, you're going to face challenges. Just keep moving forward. Um, and don't let them stop you. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, like you said, it's they're there to break you down, and
Yeah.
you have to not let
If you
them.
let if you let them break you down, then they won. It's like you just gotta. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build you back up.
Yeah. And do you have any words for Marine veterans transitioning into civilian life?
Yeah, I would just say, there's. I think now there's a lot more resources. I would lean on a lot of those resources, or prior vets, and see what worked for them. Like I said, what worked for them might not work for you, but it could, just tap into all those resources that are available. I feel like I when I got out, I didn't tap into any of those resources. And I think that put me at a disadvantage. But I think now there's a lot more, the information's out there for, to, get those resources or take advantage of those resources.
I just barely started to file for additional disability 25 years later, and I had my first CMP exam in 25 years for my hearing and for my foot. I'm trying to get my foot reevaluated because it's just built its way back up. Like it's knees, hips, back. It's starting to add up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens.
Like I tore some ligaments in my foot, and it's in my record book. Because I made a copy of my medical record,
Yeah.
and it still hurts to this day. But I don't even know how to file for a claim. I don't even know how to do it.
Did you rate any kind of disability?
No, because I've never filed for anything. I've never done any type of paperwork.
I might have to connect you with Kevin Lopez. He
Okay,
has gone through a lot, and he's become our disability guru.
okay, yeah, yeah.
I'll connect you with him. I mean, if you have it there, dude, there's from what Almanza was telling me, there's Marines from Vietnam still filing, barely just
Okay,
filing. So fucking 25 years ain't nothing compared to what fucking 60 years.
yeah. Like, and my back still hurts. Like, I went to medical for my back all the time because it would start hurting. We would do like with 35, we would always do the workups with them. So we would always do the hikes, 10, 15, 20-mile hikes, and we would come back like fucking sore as
The
fuck.
fucking all nighters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'll direct you his way. I'll connect Lopez your way, Kevin Lopez your way. So if you see a 323 number, I'll actually send you his contact info so you know who to look out for, and
Okay.
have him connect with you. And I'll let him know, hey, you know what? I think you have a shot at getting something.
All right. I hope so.
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I think we're entitled to what we put our bodies through. What did we sacrificed our bodies for?
All they can say is no, right?
Exactly. So I'm trying to have that mentality for Monday, and no matter what happens, at least I tried. If I think I still have a case, I can try to appeal it. They're the experts, both Almanza and Lopez. More Lopez than it is Almanza.
Yeah, definitely, man. Connect me to them. I'll use them as a resource, and that's what I was saying is like you got to tap into those resources. You know, people that have done it already. They can point you in the right direction and stuff like that.
Amen. If you know anybody that might be interested in coming on, send them my way. If you want to be a bridge, and if you want to come on and talk, so we kind of make the guests more comfortable.
Okay.
You know, the kind of you'd be like that buffer between the awkwardness.
Right. Yeah,
To say the
definitely,
least.
man.
Hey, man, fucking let me know. I'm open usually Saturdays as well, just like you. I'm a morning person as well. So yeah, if you want to send them our way, dude, I'd be
Okay.
more than happy to have them on, have them tell their story, and freaking get it out there, man.
Yeah, I'll hit up my old guys from 3-5. Mainly keep touch on Facebook and stuff like that.
Okay.
Everybody seems to have Facebook.
Yeah, you see right there, and you can be I would call you our bridge host
All right.
because you would be the bridge between the host and the guests. So you would be the bridge host. I'm pretty sure I'll come up with a better name, but as of right now, it would be a bridge host.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Corporal Henry Rodriguez, thank you for coming on Chat 62 and sharing your story with us. It was very entertaining, very insightful. All right, brother. Hey, can I get a picture of us real quick?
Sure.
You got that Moto fucking t-shirt. That's fucking badass.
That's it.
We
Got
got
it.
that right there. All right on, dude. All right, Rodriguez, thank you so much for jumping on. It
All
means a
right.
lot.
Thanks, man. Take care, man. Appreciate it.
Peace. Take care, brother. Later.
Hey everyone, I'm here today and I want to talk to you about something that's really important to us, and that's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can reach them by calling or texting 988.
That's right. We want to emphasize how crucial it is to reach out for help if you're struggling with thoughts of suicide or just need someone to talk to. You are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to support you.
Calling 988 or texting can be a difficult but incredibly brave step to take. It takes courage to reach out for help, but it's often the first step towards healing and finding a more positive path forward.
Remember, you are strong, capable, and loved. You have so much to offer the world, and your life is valuable and worth living. If you're struggling, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call or text 988 anytime, day or night, and speak to a trained crisis counselor who can provide you with support and guidance.
We want to encourage everyone to prioritize their mental health and well-being. You don't have to go through tough times alone. There are people who care about you and want to help.
So let's work together and create a world where everyone can thrive and live their best lives. Remember, 988 is more than just a number. It's a lifeline. Let's use it and support each other every step of the way.
Shut it down.